India's aviation watchdog, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation or DGCA, has issued 4 show-cause notices to Air India for a series of safety violations, including breaches in cabin crew rest norms, pilot duty periods, training procedures and operational guidelines. And these notices were issued on July 23rd, over a month after the deadly crash of an Air India Boeing 7878 aircraft in Ahmedabad that claimed 260 lives. These violations come to light following voluntary disclosures made by the airline in the month of June. And according to reports, the notices cite 29 specific violations such as pilots not receiving mandatory rest, poor training compliance and insufficient preparation for high-altitude airport operations. The DGCA has warned Air India of potential enforcement action. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Civil Aviation revealed that Indian airlines have reported as many as 183 technical defects in their aircraft this year alone till July 21st. Now, of these, 85 were from the Air India group, followed by 62 from Indigo and 28 from Akasa Air. The Civil Aviation Minister emphasized that all reported defects must be swiftly investigated and rectified, particularly major ones in coordination with the DGCA. In yet another disclosure, the government said airlines received 69 hoax bomb threats this year till July 20th. From the year 2022 to now, that number has reached as much as 881. Civil aviation security protocols have been strengthened, and the government claims that despite these threats, flight operations saw minimal disruptions. Notably, Karnataka alone reported 94 hoax threats over 5 years, but no arrests have been made so far. Finally, following the June 12th Ahmedabad crash, Air India reported what it calls a minor increase in pilots reporting sick, with as many as 112 pilots, including 51 commanders, calling in sick on June 16th alone. Now, the government acknowledged that the spike has been there, but stopped short of calling it a mass protest. The DGCA has reiterated the importance of mental health support for flight crews and advised airlines to implement peer support programs to proactively address stress and psychological well-being. Parvez Damania, an aviation expert, joins me this morning. Mr. Damania, good morning. Massive numbers coming there. Is this normal? The number of hoax bomb threats, the number of technical defects reported, the flight, the crew rest norms not being followed, are all these incidents that we are seeing and hearing, everything from engines catching fire to tire bursting to flights getting diverted to flights getting cancelled and all sorts of air emergencies which are now being reported in the last 1 month alone. Is this number normal by any standard, sir?
No, it's not normal. And what is worrying me is the airlines in their speed to expand and grow bigger and greater market share. They should not overlook safety standards at any time, because safety is priority number one. I'm sure this Ahmedabad crash, has affected the perception of Air India very badly. So what I'm saying is, I am sure the DGC has come down very strongly on safety regulation. They found 20 violations in the audit, and they've issued notices to Air India, and I'm sure issued notices to all other airlines. And I think DGCA will become more alert, more vigilant to see that things like this do not happen. What happened is very sad. And the worst part is, still today, we are not very clear what happened. Till today, there are a lot of gray areas. The Accident Investigation Board report has come within 1 month, but still it leaves a lot of questions to be answered. And today I read that the next report will come within 6 to 8 months. Only then we will really be able to understand why and what is the cause of the crash.
And I think, a major incident like the Air India Ahmedabad flight, which crashed on the way to London, in fact, just shortly after taking off 31 seconds in the air, is, of course, a major incident, and that requires extensive investigation. But 183 defects reported in just half a year from Jan 1st to July 21st. 183 defects, sir, in almost as many days. That is one defect a day. And more than half of that coming from Air India Group alone. something has seriously gone wrong. Is it to do with the maintenance of aircraft? Is it to do with not enough skilled manpower? Is it the fact that we are still dependent on parts and supplies and MROs outside of India? What seems to be the crux of the issue, sir?
See, I don't think Air India would spare any costs in the quality of maintenance, engineering, or spare parts. But see, certain defects will come up from time to time. No airline can run 100% without any defects or any maintenance issues. I'm sure you must have read the airline investigation report. In that report also, it said that when the plane landed from Delhi to Ahmedabad, there was a defect in the plane, which the pilot pointed out to the engineer, and the engineer corrected it, the pilot signed off the plane. So see, certain technical issues will keep coming up. It's not that there will never be any defect, there will never be any issue, there will never be any minor violation. But they should, of course, they should not be there. There should be zero violation. But at the same time, sometimes small violations occur, but they should not happen. And I'm sure the DGC, after this crash, so many people losing their lives, will become more vigilant and more alert. And I'm sure the airlines will also become more vigilant, more. No airline would like to have got into a situation like this. So I think everybody will be more alert. See, these planes are the best in the business. Boeing and Airbus supply the best aircraft. They're the only suppliers now in the market. And incidentally, the market is completely controlled now by Indigo and Air India. So just that they have to be more and more careful and more vigilant in the situation.
I mean, they need to be more vigilant, sir, but the question really is, where does the buck finally stop? Does the buck stop with airlines?
No, the airlines, see, the DGCA cannot be on every aircraft, on every plane.
That's right, sir. But then enforcement is something that people look up to DGCA for, and just issuing show cause notices, is that enough, sir?
But see, DGCA has even today a tremendous amount of posts vacant. It has come in the papers, officially been declared. Right. But see, the other, whether you can say the good part or the bad part is, the Indian aviation is growing at such a fantastic speed, which is great. The passengers in the country supporting the aviation industry in a very big way. That sometimes I feel the infrastructure and the management cannot keep up pace with it. So even at the cost of slowing down your growth, slowing down your expansion, one should see that the safety standards are maintained, so such incident cannot happen. This incident has not only made Air India look poor, but it's also affected the perception of our country because so many international passengers.
But the point I'm trying to get to is, sir, that Indian airlines pretty much operate in what many refer to as a duopoly. You have two large airlines controlling more than 80% of the market. At a time like this, is it difficult for DGCA to actually ground an airline like Air India?
Well, no. Today, let's be realistic. It is not possible for DGCA to ground any of these two airlines.
So then is DGCA and is the entire aviation ecosystem knowingly putting lives at stake with so many bomb threats, so many technical snags that get reported, flight diversions, cancellations, fires, tire bursts? I mean, at some point, it is beginning to disturb Indian flyers as well, sir.
No company or the DGCA will deliberately look the other way. After all, is the company's perception also there, and it affects us in every way. So DGCA is very vigilant, I can assure you. They're going down, but at the same time, we are in a very strange kind of situation. We only have two airlines that are sort of running the country now. So yes, you're right. We cannot afford to ground any of these two airlines. Like the other situation, very strange as it may sound, there are only two aircraft manufacturers, Boeing and Airbus. So we cannot afford to ignore anyone. If an aviation industry has to run, it has to work with Boeing and Airbus both.
That's right.
So this is the reality of life now.
So what does the flyer do, sir, with the kind of news that we are seeing every day from, like I've been saying, from cancellations and diversions to emergency landings to whatever not? What is the Indian flyer expected to deal with, sir? Because even Boeing, Airbus coming to India, making in India a better supply chain, more capex investment, MRO, all this is pretty much wishful thinking and at best a long-term vision right now. But the problems are surfacing today and now. How are Indian flyers expected to deal with it?
So I am sure we're going through very bad phase as far as the aviation industry is concerned. Uh, the DGCA, the government bodies, the ministry, the airlines, all are working towards providing a very safe and a comfortable journey for the passengers. So I'm sure everybody is working at it. I don't think one needs to worry. Even today, in spite of all this, flying is the safest form of transport in the world. So one need not worry. Everybody is doing a good job, and I'm sure people are shipping.
I think it's easier said than done to not worry, sir. But yeah, I think it seems to be pretty much a stalemate at this moment where DGCA finds its hands tied because of the duopoly in the aviation market. Airlines are obviously grappling with parts, with maintenance, but at the end of the day, all of this causing, at best, stress to Indian flyers. Mr. Damania, thank you so much for your time this morning and for joining us here with your input.